Look, I'm absolutely loving Starfield, there's no denying that. There's a reason that I'm currently at 300 hours at this point with the game, and even rescheduled a date the other day because I wanted to stay at home and play more Starfield. There's absolutely no denying that the game has its problems though. Every game does. Honestly, you're blind if you disagree with that. Even games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Spider-Man, which I would honestly consider masterpieces, have their issues. And like I said, Starfield has its fair amount of issues, so today I want to take a few minutes to talk about some of the things I really hope to see added into the game with either free updates or future DLC or something like that. So without any further hesitation, let's just dive straight into it because we have a lot to go over. One of my top things I really want in the game right now, probably the second thing, we'll get to the first later, but one of the top things I really want is more dungeons. For context, I've done pretty much everything I can find in Starfield at this point. I've done every single faction questline, every side quest that I've found so far, and all of the random encounters I've found. And obviously I know that there's more stuff to do out there in the game, but at the moment I'm struggling to find it, not that that's a bad thing. And to be fair, as you all know, I was lucky enough to play the game super early, so I've had more time to do all of this stuff. But because of this, I've recently been doing a ton of bounty missions from the mission boards just to sort of give me something to do on the side while I'm out exploring and trying to 100% every single system on my main character. Just yesterday, actually, I did 2 bounty jobs, and they were both the exact same location, like the same copy and pasted building on 2 separate planets that were nowhere near each other. I started scanning planets and such and did another bounty job about an hour after this and went to yet again the exact same building but on a moon this time. And honestly, I've gotten to the point 300 hours in where I just arrive at one of these locations and I know exactly where every single enemy is programmed to stand and spawn and where all of the decent loot spawns. So I can literally run through even the biggest of these dungeons in like 60 seconds flat and be done with it and get my bounty and leave and be back on my ship. Honestly, within like a minute and a half max. So I think from what I can remember, there are 6 of these copy and pasted locations. There might be a little bit more or a little bit less, like I could be miscounting, but whatever. Honestly, we need more because it's really killing my enjoyment of exploration in Starfield. And I know that a lot of people feel the same way from what I've seen online. I was scanning a planet just yesterday, again trying to 100% the system, and found a structure, and I was like, oh nice, some content. I got closer and realised, oh, it's just the exact same building I was at 5 minutes ago for that bounty, and I didn't even bother going inside. Actually, I didn't even discover it, like I didn't even get close enough to discover it, because I already knew every single item that would be in there, and I didn't need any of it. It's just confusing, because neither Skyrim or Fallout 4, or even Fallout 76 have this issue. There are like 6-ish locations and it's not enough, and honestly I think even like 20 of these would get repetitive after a while. So it's really baffling that Bethesda have only done like 6 or 7, maybe even 5 of these, whatever, especially when Bethesda said before Starfield came out that there's more handcrafted content in Starfield than in any of their previous games. Because honestly it doesn't feel that way. This is the first time in a BGS game that I've had an issue with this type of stuff. And we just need more of it in my opinion. So I really hope that in the future we get just even a couple more of these copy and pasted dungeons just to flesh it out even the slightest bit. But moving on, you all know, or at least if you subscribe to me you know, that my biggest complaint in Starfield is the storage system. The storage system is fucking arse and I'm never going to shut up about it until it's fixed or until a mod fixes it for me. It's absolutely mind-boggling how backwards they got the storage system in Starfield when Fallout 4 basically perfected it. We need unlimited storage in our homes at the very least, Bethesda. Put a little storage box like the ones that we have on our ships and our cockpit next to the front door to all of our homes, that we can just stuff all of our junk and gear and resources in, and then let it connect to all of the workbenches that we build in our homes and the decorating system. I, at the moment, own every house that I know of in the game, and I would love to actually live in them and decorate them, and the only reason I don't is because of the awful storage system. So far I've found 4 unlimited storage containers in the game, 3 of which are in the lodge and 1 is in your, minor spoilers here by the way, office in Region Tower. And that's great, but when I want to decorate my house in say Aquila City, I've got 2 houses there, so maybe I want to go decorate those. That means that I need to grab all of my resources from these locations and then drag it all the way over to my house, taking damage while I do so, by the way, because I'm obviously over the carry weight limit, just to decorate. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Every single home should have an unlimited storage box that connects to your decorating of that home and any workbenches that you build. This is how it is in Fallout 4 with the settlement system. You could just dump all of your resources and your gear and your weapons and your armor, whatever, into the settlement workbench and then just build whatever the hell you wanted. You didn't have to drag all of your resources around with you, and it baffles me that they took that system, made it worse, and then obviously played Starfield to test it, saw this system being played out and went, yeah, that's fucking mint, let's keep this in the game. Like I said, this is my biggest complaint of the entire game. It's the only thing in Starfield that I absolutely outright hate. Everything else, I like it, or I'm just with it, but the storage system, I absolutely hate it. Like I said, it's my biggest complaint of the entire game, and it's killing a system that I could really enjoy. So please, oh please, Bethesda, for the love of the 9 divines, please add unlimited storage to homes. Don't make modders do it for you. Moving on, another big one that I'm seeing a lot of people complain about is more companions. We really need more companions in the game. While I really do love everyone in Constellation personally, I called it months ago, when Bethesda did confirm that every companion with a personality would be a part of Constellation. I told you all that this was probably going to be bad, and that they were basically all going to have the same personality, and it wouldn't feel as fleshed out as Fallout 4's companions, and everyone shouted at me, majorly disliked my video, and told me I was wrong, and not to be that guy, but I was right. Like I said, I really do like everyone in Constellation. I love Sarah, she's easily my favourite character in the game. I don't understand any of the hate she gets. She's the Nick Valentine of Starfield in my opinion. I love Sam and Barrett and just everyone in Constellation. But we need some more companions with personalities that aren't a part of Constellation. We need some evil companions, people that like the use of chems and stealing and even murder. Out of everything on this list, I definitely think that this is the one that's actually the most likely. I think we're definitely going to get some new companions at some point in the future in DLCs. Because Bethesda have always done that, right? With Skyrim, Fallout 4, almost every big DLC that adds new questlines and stuff added a new companion, right? So I definitely think that we'll see more companions in the future. I just really hope that they actually have personalities. But again, it's something we need. I just really hope we get an evil companion at some point, or at least someone who just doesn't care if we do bad stuff. Now the next one on my list is kind of a nitpick, the game doesn't need it necessarily, but I'd really love to see it, and that is just a complete overhaul to the Red Mile. I was super excited when I got to the Red Mile, and when I walked in and saw that we couldn't gamble, I was just fairly disappointed, I have around 900,000 credits right now, and I really wish I could gamble because there's not really much that I can spend my credits on in this game because I've built my dream perfect ship now. So I'd love to see gambling get added, preferably to the Red Mile, but I suppose it could be anywhere, a gambling place on Neon would be cool. But honestly, I just want them to overhaul what Red Mile actually is. I was really hoping for a sort of Nuka World Gauntlet on crack. Even just an even more difficult gauntlet that you could only imagine my disappointment when I realised, oh, they literally just want you to sprint somewhere and back and avoid these ridiculously easily enemies. The hardest part about the Red Mile was not crashing when those stupid ass alien creatures attacked you as you just sprinted right past them. I really would love to see this changed. Make the elevator go down to a super long and dangerous dungeon with tons of enemies coming at you, grenades and traps being set off every few minutes, having to guess which way to go without dying and all of that stuff, and then of course a huge boss battle at the end. I would just love to see an overhaul that adds this, but knowing Bethesda, that won't ever happen sadly, but hey, maybe if we keep begging they'll add it. Now this is a fairly small one, but it is absolutely necessary and something the game 100% needs more than anything, and I know that you're all gonna laugh, but oh my god Bethesda, please let me marry the new Atlantis goth girl. What are you scared of? I was so disappointed that I couldn't go on a date with this woman, or at least offer her a job on my ship, because meeting her I was just head over heels in love. What are you scared of, Bethesda? Get the voice actress back in the booth and do it now and record those goddamn marriage dialogue lines. But kidding aside, something I actually really want to discuss is land vehicles, because obviously everybody wants them, I do too. I hate walking around the empty planets by foot, it's really slow and boring most of the time. I would love to see some kind of rover, and honestly guys, I don't see it happening, because Bethesda would need to change the entire game just to add them in. Every single landing bay in every single ship would need to be edited to fit an entire vehicle in it, which would mess up a lot of ship builds. Even if they just added like one new landing bay that came with a rover or a speeder bike or something, nobody would ever use any of the other bays. And people would just complain further that they aren't in every ship. Maybe you could just have the land vehicles spawn outside of your ship when you land, but you know, even if you just say, yeah, Vasco pulls it out while you're coming down from the cockpit or something, even then if you don't have Vasco with you, it's really immersion breaking. Bethesda would have to design an entire new system just to get it to feel good, and even if they did add it, people would just complain that we want to customize them, and honestly I just don't ever see it happening, because no matter how they do it, Bethesda won't be able to win with it. People will always want more, or they'll dislike the way it was done, or something like that. I could maybe see it happening in a future DLC, but even then it's a stretch. I'm sorry to be the one to say it, I want land vehicles just as much as you do, but I'm really not holding my breath because I don't think it will ever come. But hey, if it does, I'll gladly eat my words. But anyway, those are some of the biggest things I really want to see get added into a future update or DLC content-wise. Of course, we could talk for much longer if we discussed other things such as bug fixes, but most of that will get fixed over time anyway. The reason I actually wanted to and decided to make this video so badly is because Bethesda have said that they're listening to fans and they're going to try and add as much as they possibly can over the time that they continue to work on Starfield. They even very recently, just the other day, said that they have a 5-year plan for Starfield. And I know a couple of people at Bethesda do watch my videos from time to time, so hey guys, if you're here, let me marry the cute goth girl in your Atlantis, and you know, add the other stuff too if you have the time. Anyway, that will do it for me today guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave it with a like, it really helps, and consider subscribing to stay up to date on Starfield and other Bethesda Game Studios content. Lastly, as always, a huge massive thank you to our channel members. You guys mean the absolute world, so thank you once again for being here and supporting me month after month. But with that all said and done, thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope to see you next time. Peace.